Imagine a quiet countryside where a father lived with his two sons. The father was kind, patient, and hard-working. His home was filled with warmth, love, and provision. The older son worked faithfully in the fields day after day, while the younger son often dreamed of excitement beyond the family farm. One morning, the younger son came with a bold request. "Father," he said, "give me my share of the inheritance now." This was shocking. In their culture, asking for inheritance while the father was still alive was almost like saying, "I can't wait for you to be gone. I want my freedom now." Yet the father, full of patience and love, granted the request. He divided his wealth between his sons. The younger son quickly gathered all his belongings, packed his bags, and with excitement in his eyes set off for a distant country. To the father and the older brother, this was heartbreaking, but they let him go. At first, the younger son's new life was everything he thought he wanted. He had money to spend, friends to laugh with, and pleasures at every corner. He dressed in fine clothes, enjoyed endless feasts, and wasted his wealth on reckless living. He felt free, powerful, and unstoppable. But soon the gold coins slipped through his fingers. One by one, the so-called friends disappeared. Then a famine struck the land. Food became scarce, and the young man, once surrounded by luxury, now had nothing. No money, no home, no one to turn to. Desperate, he found work feeding pigs. This was the lowest job imaginable for a Jewish man because pigs were considered unclean. Hungry and broken, he looked at the pig's food and wished he could eat it. Sitting in the mud, ashamed and empty, the young man began to think, "My father's servants have food to spare, and here I am starving. I will go back home. I'll tell my father I have sinned against heaven and against him. I don't deserve to be his son, but maybe he will take me as a servant." And so, weary and repentant, he began the long walk home. With each step, his heart pounded. What if his father turned him away? But while the son was still far away, his father saw him. Day after day, the father had been watching the road, hoping his boy would return. And now, there he was. The father ran, not walked, ran. He embraced his son, kissed him, and held him close. The son began his rehearsed speech. "Father, I have sinned against heaven and against you. I am not worthy to be called your son." But before he could finish, the father called to his servants, "Quick, bring the best robe, put a ring on his finger and sandals on his feet. Kill the fattened calf. We must celebrate, for my son was dead, but now he is alive again. He was lost, but now he is found." The house filled with music, dancing, and joy. But the older brother, out in the fields, heard the celebration and became angry. "All these years I've worked for you," he told his father, "and you never threw a party for me. Yet this son of yours wasted everything, and now you celebrate him?" The father replied gently, "My son, you are always with me, and everything I have is yours. But we had to celebrate because your brother was lost and is found." That's the heart of the story. The father represents God, who never gives up on us. No matter how far we've wandered, his arms are always open. The younger son shows us that even when we've made the worst mistakes, we can turn back. And the older son reminds us to check our hearts, that God's grace is big enough for everyone, not just for us. The Prodigal Son is not just a story about running away. It's about running back and finding that God has been waiting for us all along. So wherever you are today, close to God or feeling far away, remember this: His love never stops, and he calls you his child,